Thank you, Council President Navarro. I really appreciate your bringing this before us today and empowering the Council to take a stand on housing issues. It is so important. Over the last couple of years, the region has come together to address some major public policy issues that are regional in nature. A great example, of course, the best example is our success with Metro funding. The jurisdictions of the region came together. We got a lot of momentum behind transportation issues, and we ended up with a long-term funding solution that has once again gotten Metro back on track to provide world-class service. The jurisdictions work together on the Amazon solicitations, and that is going to be a regional win for this region. It is absolutely appropriate that building on that momentum, the Council of Governments put housing squarely on the agenda. And I want to thank you again and Councilmember Hucker and your service at COG, but especially Councilmember Navarro for ensuring that the County Council, in your role as Council President, would take this up and give this the attention it deserves, to bring the urgency to the issue, and to issue the call to action that we really must embrace. We have an affordability problem in this county. This county is in a very expensive place to live, and I think we all know that housing is our largest expense. Any family, any resident of this county, housing is typically the largest expense, whether it's a mortgage or a rent payment. It is a substantial source of economic strain for most of our families. We have affordability challenges at every level of income. We have challenges with millennials who want to move here, to work here, to live here. It's very difficult to find an affordable place to live. We have challenges for retirees who want to stay here or move to be close to their families. I think as a parent, I am constantly asking myself, or regularly asking myself, I should say, will my kids be able to afford to live here? That is a challenge that I think many of us are grappling with as the price of housing continues its upward march. So we need to do more, and the report highlights how Montgomery County needs to produce thousands more housing units every year in order to meet the goals that we have. There are some notable aspects of this agenda. This report does not say that the only type of housing that we should create is housing for people at the very lowest level of income. This report says we need housing at every level of income, but there should be a special focus on low and middle income families. That is really important because it's very difficult to produce housing. The market does not produce housing at the lowest income. It must be subsidized, and there's no way that the market itself is going to produce the kind of housing that we need to meet the need for low-income families on its own. So we need a market-based solution, and that is where housing for middle income and other income levels comes in. So the report helps clarify that our task is to produce housing at the middle and low-income level. Those two issues work together. It also puts economic development, as you said, squarely in the middle of this conversation where it belongs. I think anybody knows intuitively that when a company wants to hire here, if their workforce can't afford to live here, then they won't be able to tap the workforce that they need. So the constraint on housing supply is also a constraint on the supply of the workforce that our companies need to grow here. I was very concerned to learn that the county executive took the time to go down to the Council on Government and say no to this report, to bicker with the findings of this report. Another reason I really appreciate the County Council and the Council President bringing this issue forward. The County Executive has a long track record on housing issues where he has been an outlier, voting against plans like the Bethesda Master Plan, the Littonsville Master Plan, the Veers Mill Corridor Master Plan that this council passed, the Rock Spring Master Plan, the White Flint 2 Master Plan, opposing our accessory dwelling units proposal that we passed here at the council this year. So people are looking to the council for leadership and for a strong, clear voice, and I look forward to taking this report up at commission and getting the benefit of the county executive's input into that, of course. But I think the council, by embracing this resolution, is saying very forcefully, we need to follow up, we need to make this happen. So at the Fed committee, we will we will review what will it take to meet the kind of housing production goals that this report outlines. And we may need to find ways to hear from our private sector and affordable housing providers to get that input about what are the barriers that they experience when they want to produce new housing. What are the finance options? We're going to be taking up the housing fund on Monday of next week. And there's definitely ways that we can strengthen our affordable housing investments. But the long and short of it is there's a lot that we need to do. Above all else, we need to embrace the urgency of this issue and respond to the call to action that is regional and carry our weight. And so I look forward to continuing to take these up and working closely with my colleagues. Thank you.